Hey guys, so I want to do a little video on this backup sump pump that I installed about a year and a half ago. At one point, all we had was obviously the original sump pump that's down in this crock here, this sump pit. You can see it down in there, and it's got a bunch of years on it. You know, still pumps great. And when I had originally bought this house, they had a second pump, spare pump, I guess, sitting in the corner there. You can almost still see the rust ring. And what I had found out is it was obviously a used pump that they pulled from somewhere. And you know, the more I thought about it, the more I got a little concerned of, you know, if this thing, the pump that's installed now does break, and I happen to be away, that's really not a problem I want to deal with. Not only, you know, it's a pretty quick swap over, but you have to realize in an emergency situation, it's probably too late. And not only do you have a flood, but now you're really fighting to not only get the water out, but fix a secondary pump and get it all plumbed up and glued in. It's not something you want to deal with. And the prior owner of this home actually explained that he did have a flood once, and obviously you could see that the damage was repaired and everything was taken care of, but that's something I do not want to be faced with. So I went ahead and bought this Liberty pump, SumpJet. It's a model SJ10. It's pretty much their standard backup pump, and it's actually powered by water. So the reason for that is, if you go ahead and you get a battery powered backup sump pump, that's something you're still going to have to maintain. I mean, everything requires a little bit of maintenance, even this sort of, and I'll explain that. But if you want absolutely minimal maintenance with the best possible backup ability, this is absolutely the way to go. Over the years, I've seen many of these installed, and this is absolutely the way to go. So the other option would be, as I said, a battery powered backup sump pump, and you'd usually have a battery storage container holding a battery, a deep cell battery, something like that. And you know, in the case of emergency, it would kick on if the other pump was to break. And when you're dealing with something like that, you have to make sure that battery is always charged. I mean, obviously, you have to continually maintain that. The battery itself is only going to last so long. So it's something that I thought of and immediately said, that's just not the way I want to go. So I looked into these water-powered ones. It did run me about $225, which I think by the time you get the battery and another sump pump and all that, I mean, this was actually more economical to do so. I was able to do my own plumbing. So if it's something you're going to want to hire someone to do, I'm sure the price all depends on how far over you have to run plumbing to get to this. But basically, it just takes a 3/4. I used PEX in this instance. It was super easy, and it actually comes with a sort of quick connect fitting or shark bite, whatever you want to call them. It's pretty easy to install. So how it works is it sits above the level that your original sump pump would be triggered at. So if the water went above the other float and for some reason the other pump didn't kick on, this would then push this up here, and I'll just turn it on quick, and it would start to pull the water from that siphon at the very bottom. So I guess to get into maintenance, all you really have to do to maintain this thing is pretty much maybe once a year, but I would recommend a couple times a year. Just come down here and lift that up, and just make sure that nothing's stuck, that the valve inside doesn't get stuck in case of any sediment getting in there or anything. That's pretty much it. So you really do not have to worry about this thing for many years, and hopefully you never have to, you know, it never needs to actually turn on and save your basement from flooding. But in the event that it does, it's really kind of a no-brainer. Just go ahead and install this. Don't bother with a battery backup one. I guess a few more little details are, the only thing you do want to get is a check valve so that no water can ever make its way from here back into the natural water supply. That's basically by code. You need to have a check valve of some sort. I put a shutoff as well right here just for be able to service this in case anything goes wrong. And essentially it just gets tied in directly to your other exit for the original pump. This thing ran me about $250. I've seen them online anywhere from about $220 to up to $300. But I mean, if you kind of just search around, it should be around $250 mark. If you guys got any questions about it or how to install it or anything like that, let me know.